Bitcoin and Ethereum, what's his next move? Let's find out in the charts here, shall we? Oh my goodness. Another dump. We've seen it this time and time again. We're going to talk about why this thing happened, what's going on. Is it the war? Is it something else? Well, we're going to talk about exactly that in today's episode. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm in the 5x5, staying alive here in Dubai. And yeah, well, you know what? If you watched yesterday's episode with me and Carl, whether it was on my channel or his channel, we both saw the same thing coming to fruition. We're going to head up to the 40K approximately and then roll over and die. Now, we didn't count in the war, right? You know, if you heard about what's going on in Ukraine, you know that Putin has now invaded Ukraine. And most people think, oh yeah, that's the cause. It's not really the cause, because the technical analysis said well before that this was going to happen, and we talked about that in yesterday's video without mentioning the war, without saying the war was going to cause this to happen. We saw fractal pattern, a broadening wedge, which was bearish, and well, actually it's bullish, but it doesn't pan out in this bearish situation. So we're going to talk about that and talk about how to trade that in today's episode. So if you're interested in trading it, you can head over to bybit.davincij15.com or femex.davincij15.com. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and bell button and all, right? Because you guys need to be part of this show and help share this with the rest of the world. Okay, let's go let's undo all this, and then let's talk about what we see here. Now, here's the thing. We are at a critical point here. I mean, a very critical point. We've already blown through all these issues, these points, which was the stop runs. And now all those people have sold once we blow through their stop runs. Now we have to bounce here. If we fail to bounce in this area, which is at the 34,500 area, and we have to go above or stay in between this area, between the 45 and the $35,000 area, for us to have any hope of Bitcoin not breaking down below the $30,000 mark, right? That's what has to happen. You can see right now on the 4-hour chart, right? This is not looking good. We've got a high volume candle on the last 4-hour chart. I wonder how many hours has been on that chart. Let's see here. It's not saying. So last time we broke closed was at 35,000. So let's go to the hourly and see where we are. So yeah, we're on the last hour of the 4 hours. So you can see that here because we closed at the 35, which is approximately there. So at this last candle here, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 candles here. So we can see that this is going to close out. What time is it now? In a half an hour. That's probably a good thing, because why is that? Why is this a good thing that we're seeing a lot of selling pressure at this level? Well, assuming this, let's see here, this is Bitstamp. Yes, that's good. This is a spot market. You have to understand, in order for you to sell something, somebody's got to buy it. And so even though there's all these people selling it, there's at the same time a lot of people buying it, right? Now you can say, well, some of those buyers are just flippers, right? They're just gonna flip over. But the majority of them have to be somebody who's like saying, okay, you know what? This is a good price. I'm willing to buy here, and I'm just gonna take it. So that's what's happening here in this last 4-hour candle. And so if the sellers start to realize, wait a second here, there's too many buyers here, right? That means I could sell this thing a lot higher. So that's what they'll do. They'll pull their orders. They'll say, no, I'm not selling it here. I'm gonna sell it higher. So if you want that, now you're gonna have to buy it from me at a lot higher price. So that's what we're going to probably see happening. This is probably, right? There's no guarantees, right? But with this high volume, that's what we can possibly see a bounce at this level here. Going down to shorter time frames, I'd be very careful. This is probably let's see, probably there's going to be a couple head fakes down, right, to wipe out any longs to try to go long here. You can see this fork, right? Maybe you could do a stop loss here. This is a short-term trade here that could work, right? You can see that. Oops. At this level, let me just get the right tool for that job. At the horizontal bar right here of, let's see here, that's a $34,339. You can see that we could probably hold that, probably. But if we don't, right, you can, because we're so close, you can take a small risk, see if it works. If you get stopped out, you can hit it again after when it breaks below it, and then see if it takes you back up, because this is really close to a reversal pattern right where we are right now. So yeah, it's worth a shot at this 15-minute period here. No guarantees from the management, right? Do your own research before putting any of your hard-earned money into the market, of course. And you can see that the RockinBrainer is giving us a sell signal and not a buy signal. So if you want, you could also sit there and wait for the RockinBrainer to give you a buy signal before you go ahead and jump in for a long. That would probably only take you, let's do a Fibonacci from that last reversal, a horrible reversal from last night, up to the 38.2. Right, which is not bad, right? This is the last resistance level, which is 36,000. That's probably a good target to take profits off of if you're going to go long against a bear on a bearish market here. All right. So once again, if you want to get the RockinBrainer, you can do so by heading over to payments.rockinbrainer.io, and also make sure you subscribe to Davitar, where a lot of things are happening here as we make different announcements and so forth. I want to get into some of these announcements, but we're going to. I want to get onto Ethereum before I do so, because I have to get going. Anyways, let's go to Ethereum, and I won't be doing what's it called, the dominance today. Sorry, guys. I know some people are looking forward to that. Pretty much a mirror image of Bitcoin. You can see that we're coming straight down right to the exact level, which I could have swore. Yep, oh, there it is. There's the what's it called? The trend line that we're probably going to hit. We're probably going to come and hit that before we continue higher. So we could have probably do a little bit of a fake out, come up, and then up we go. So don't be surprised if we come down and hit this a trend line. There's not a lot of volume here, so I wouldn't be surprised if this thing tries to go up and then bounces higher before you see this thing turn around. Don't think I'd trade this at the lower time frame. Yeah, this is too tight here, and there's not enough information to say it yet. I could go along on this on Ethereum. Okay, let's head back and take a look. Let's zoom out, right? Because you know what? When in doubt, zoom out, so you know exactly what's going to happen. And zooming out, and let me just hide the RockinBrainer indicators there. Looking at this, oh my goodness, you do not want to see what I see here. I don't even want to see it myself when I zoom out. And I'm like, oh my goodness. What are we going to draw here? I'm going to draw what's called a, oh, there it is. It should be like, where is this? Oh, here it is. Pattern. Where's the head and shoulders pattern? Could have swore it was right here. Missing it. Oh, there it is, right there. Patterns. Head and shoulders. There we go. So if you maybe do this one right here to here to here, to here, down to here, up to here, and down to here. If we come down, look at that, to the 29,000. If we come down to the 29,000, lights out. Not just because of this head and shoulders. Take a look at this. This bigger M pattern, right? Multiple M patterns, right? That all indicate it's lights out for Bitcoin. We're talking massive downward pressure here. Massive. Let's assume right there, that's the target. And then the target would be, Jesus, that's not possible, right? So, so that's not it. But still, obviously it's not going to go to the negatives at that point. But still, this is a massive downward pressure looking head and shoulders pattern that we cannot ignore. And you can see that we have a lot of M's here, and this thing will push this Bitcoin down a massive amount should it break down. So we don't want that to happen at all. So most likely we won't get that though. Most likely we won't get that. We'll probably get something a little bit more subdued, right? If we're looking at the daily time frames, we're most likely, not guaranteed, no guarantees from the management here, of course. We're most likely going to bounce here and not bounce all the way up, but come back down and then break. And then this movement here, this what's it called, $10,000 movement or $13,000 movement will be repeated down to like the 23,000 or something like that. And so that's where, the 20,000. Wow, the 20,000. So that is something we should really be looking at, not just that bigger head and shoulders, but just wanted to point that out as a scare factor. And you can see, it's around the $20,000 mark, $21,000 mark is where we'd probably see the first stop point for Bitcoin should we continue on the downward trajectory. All right, so that's where we're at. Kind of scary, but it could get worse. Right? I mean, we are in we have to hold this area, or else it's just going to be a lot more pain. Maybe if some dead cat bounces along the way, but there'll be a lot more pain coming down. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but that's just the way the ball bounces. But hey, that gives you guys an opportunity to buy, right? And you want to hold Bitcoin for the long term, because you know what? I went to dinner the other day, and somebody said, "How did you know that Bitcoin is going to do well?" Well, because we need a better monetary system. We need something that's way better than what we have. And he says, "How do you know? So you think it's going to be money? So do you believe it's going to be money?" He asked me. No, I said, "I know it's going to be money, right? Because Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay, and you need to be a part of it." Thanks for watching.